We're going to continue topic 2. I forgot the number. 2.8. We're going to continue topic 2.8, working on the product rule. And you'll notice in example 2 that we are going to have to use the product rule. We aren't going to be able to FOIL or do anything else like that because we're not using a polynomial in this one. So I'm going to get out my red and my green, underline my red, underline my green. So red is always first, green is always second. And we're going to do f prime of x equals. I'm going to take the derivative of my red, which is 1. I'm going to keep the green the way it is, so sine x. I'm going to use a plus sign. I'm going to keep my red the way it is, so x. And take the derivative of my green, the derivative of sine is cosine x. And in this case, there really isn't anything else I can do to simplify it, so I'm just going to leave it that way. So we're going to look at b. I'm going to underline my e to the x is the red, my x is the green. So I'm going to go g prime of x equals derivative of my red. Derivative of e to the x is e to the x. Keep my green the way it is. And then plus, and then derivative, or keep my red the way it is, which is e to the x. And then the derivative of my green is 1. I would probably just leave it that way. It's possible that they do rearrange it. So let me show you a couple of rearrangements. They could put their x up front. They could say x e to the x plus e to the x. That's fine. Something they like to do in multiple choice sometimes is they like to factor out weird things, like they like to take the e to the x out. So likely one of these two is going to be the answers in the homework, but you never know. On a test, it could be this e to the x times x plus 1. All right, let's try a few more. So this one here, notice the product rule in C is just the product rule on this piece. The back piece is still is just a regular derivative. So I am going to start with my product rule. So I am going to take the derivative of the first, because I know it's 2x times cosine x. So derivative of the red is 2. Keep the green the way it is. And then I'm going to add that to keep the red the way it is. Derivative of the green would be negative sine x. And then I'm back to this original function, so minus 2, and the derivative sine is cosine x. It does look like I could do some combining like terms. So it looks like I can combine the cosine x, the 2 cosine x, and the 2 cosine x, which would actually end up canceling. So my final answer is negative 2x sine x. All right, looking at problem K here, or sorry, problem D, K of x. So we're going to underline the x squared as the red, and the natural log of x is the green. I'm going to start taking the derivative. So I know I take the derivative of the red first, which is 2x, and I keep the green the way it is, natural log x, plus I keep the red the way it is, so x squared, and the derivative of the green, which would be 1 over x. I would probably simplify the x and the 1 over x part, so that's going to cancel into that. So you get 2x natural log of x plus x. And again, it's possible that the College Board would possibly pull a factor in x out of that, so it'd be x times natural log of x plus 1. Both of those are good answers. All right. One more like this. We're going to look at another polynomial. And again, I could multiply that out, but it's probably easier to actually use the product rule. So we've got the red and the green. And then I'm going to start taking that derivative. So f prime of x equals, I'm going to take the derivative of the red, which would just be x, and then I'm going to keep the green the way it is. X squared plus 5x plus 2. Plus, I'm going to keep the red the way it is. So x plus 3. And then we're going to take the derivative of the green, which is 2x plus 5. I'm choosing not to FOIL it out because I'm going to just leave my answer unsimplified, but I could multiply all that out and FOIL it out if I needed to.